Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday. Congratulations, you are a beautiful creature of God or the universe. Both are cool. So welcome to Daily Chakra. My name is Jeff Bassman, and this is the show where we are talking about the principles of yoga as described in the chakras. So there's 7 chakras that go up your body. You don't even have to believe in them. The point is there are principles associated with each one. So today is Sunday, so we're at the crown chakra, which talks about connecting with God or the universe or both. So again, congratulations, you are right there. How exciting. So I wasn't really sure how to describe God or whatever, so I got this book. It's called God. So you remember last week we talked about Socrates. That was chapter 2. Socrates basically said, know thyself, which means know that you basically are God. Life becomes better. So chapter 3, we're talking about St. Paul, and his quote is, I am the light of the world. So let's find out what that means. So I just read this. Paul's story is pretty interesting. He was born a Roman, and he was in charge of persecuting Christians and early believers of Jesus. So he was like real good at that, just like killing people. They used to get thrown into the Colosseum. Early believers in Jesus used to get thrown into the Colosseum and eaten by lions, stuff like that. So one day he was on his way to work, Paul, and ready to kill some Christians, and then he was, quote, blinded by the light. That's where this comes from. Blinded by the light. Douche. So he was blinded by the light and then decided, or like Jesus came to him, or God, and he said, I got to stop killing Christians. Matter of fact, I need to flip the script and start spreading this word. So Paul goes on to spread the word of Jesus and gets like millions of followers. He goes back to Jerusalem then after he's like spreading the word, goes back to Jerusalem where Peter lived. Peter, Simon Peter, who actually knew Jesus. And I'll read this part. Peter actually didn't really care too much for Paul, it turns out. So Paul was talking to the people in Jerusalem, where they weren't really a big fan of him. So Paul, I'll just read this part. To the crowd, he said, I sense that you have... This is Paul talking to the people of Jerusalem. I sense that you have given me your approval, but not everyone with his full heart. I don't care, because I love you all fiercely, as souls baptized in the name of the Holy Spirit. I see you as ghosts compared to unbelievers. Your flesh is a mirage. You are really the light of God. How about it? I say this to you, and I would say the same to Caesar before he killed me, or to the next Gentile as he is about to spit on me. See, Paul's pretty spirited. Paul intended these words to create a stir, and they did. Jerusalem buzzed like a hornet's nest all week. Jerusalem was happy to... Here's the key. Jerusalem was happy to see his back as Paul went on the road, meaning they didn't really like him. Let him go and be reckless as he wanted, people said. The Lord would protect him, or not. That's literally what it says. So people who were like the followers of Jesus weren't really into Paul as he was going around and spreading the message of Jesus. So that's kind of weird, and it's kind of interesting. So why do you think that is? That'll be the question of the day. As Paul was going on and spreading the word of Jesus, people that were into Jesus were not a fan of Paul. Kind of contradictory and interesting, I thought. However, the most interesting part of this chapter I found was in the analysis written by Deepak Chopra, which continues over here. So I'm going to read like the next page. So I would encourage, well, first, this is a yoga class. Sorry. Before we get to the most interesting part, which is salvation versus consciousness. How crazy. Let's get a little stretch going. Warm this up. One of my favorite postures, Janu Shirshasana. I'm actually sitting up on a pillow right now, which is okay. The point is, when you're meditating or when you're even doing opposing Johnnies, hips higher than knees. So that's why you sit on a cush. Would you like me to zoom down? Sitting on a cush to get hips higher than knees, that's the goal of that. So I'm going to do one leg out, and then remember, twist around, and then Not rolling the back, but coming with a straight back up and over your belly toward the foot. So I encourage you to do this on both sides as I'm reading this next segment, which I find supremely fascinating. Okay. Ready? Here we go. We're about to find out. Salvation versus consciousness. Much is lost. Much is legend. But Paul drummed one formula into his readers. Believe and you will be saved. Interesting. It's not a universal formula, it says. The formula of believe and you will be saved. Not a universal formula. In the East, religions like Buddhism and Hinduism have no murdered saints, no emphasis on faith in supernatural events, no resurrection from the dead. Instead, the common thread in the East is consciousness. A religious person speaks to escape pain and suffering relevant. The entire journey is done within, and therefore Gnosticism with a GN is or direct contact with the divine mind, finds in the East a refuge where there isn't a heresy. So maybe they're insinuating that in the West, to finding your own inner peace is heresy. I don't know. I'll continue. This isn't to say that religion, as it flowered in Asia, lacks divine love and miracles. In popular Buddhism, the young prince Siddhartha, we'll get to him another week, another day. Young Siddhartha was carried over the walls of his father's palace, where he lived a life of suffocating luxury, on a magical white horse held aloft by angels. A devout Hindu sees the beautiful god Krishna as an exemplar of love. But Christianity isn't a religion based on higher consciousness. It is based on salvation, the ultimate personal miracle. Okay, you with me so far? So, salvation, consciousness, interesting. To atheists, all miracles are primitive and childlike, a form of wish fulfillment, not far removed from fairy tales. In a recent book for young adults, the British evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins, who has become an outspoken voice of modern atheism, looks into miracles from a rational point of view. He concludes that they are fakery spread by charlatans, including the miracles reported in the New Testament. Science knows how reality works, Dawkins assures us. We need to get past myths and wish fulfillment, since they promote unreality. Excuse me. It is a powerful, persuasive attack. If you insist, here's the key, if you insist that only the physical world is real, and only the rational mind can deliver truth. So, the atheist Dawkins treatise that science knows how reality works, and everything, miracles, unquote, is fakery. That argument holds water if you believe that only the physical world is the real world, and only the rational mind can deliver truth. So interesting concept. So turning the page. But the argument loses its potency once you realize that spirituality is based on the irrational, not by being feeble and childish, but by celebrating the inner world. There are levels of the mind where rationalism cannot go. Here we find the source of imagination, art, beauty, truth, faith, hope, love, trust, compassion, and preach, and that part I added in myself, and most of the other things that make life worth living. Again, not part of the rational mind, these things. To an atheist, this sounds like a sentimental justification for believing in the unreal. However, if you look deeply, Christianity cannot help but be about consciousness, despite itself. So I think that means I am the light of the world. That's knowing that you're getting into your own deeper consciousness, which is what Socrates was talking about last time. To enter the miraculous world where ordinary people can be transformed, where God's presence is felt and death loses its sting, there is no physical journey. As Kabir, K-A-B-I-R, one of the most inspired of India's mystical poets, says, "You can read all the holy books and bathe in all the holy waters without finding your soul." The soul is an experience, not a thing. The soul is an experience, not a thing. That reminds me of another quote. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a body. How interesting, right? I am a soul. I have a body. It's cool to think of it that way. Where are we? The soul is an experience, not a thing. All experiences take place in consciousness. This is undeniable even for so-called supernatural experiences like the kind that atheists scorn. Okay, last paragraph. Whether he is loved or hated, Paul was a teacher of higher consciousness, demanding that the early church accept the resurrection, which meant accepting a world no longer imprisoned by natural laws. Interesting. We think of Christianity as being about the life to come, when souls join their Father in heaven. But Paul changed forever how this world looks. He led a revolution of the mind by saying that coming back from the dead was not just real, but the most real thing that ever happened. That's what Paul said. This stubborn insistence that God dispenses grace to the whole world was the same as creating a new world. In my own mind, this is Deepak Chopra now, miracles don't cause distress. As Einstein said, either nothing is a miracle or everything is. How about it? That may seem like one person's belief system competing with countless others, yet Paul added another argument for the mystics to come. Miraculous worlds only await the touch of awareness. Miraculous worlds only await the touch of awareness. So, pretty interesting chapter this week. Again, to summarize, my most interesting part that I thought was this idea of salvation, like we're taught in the West, versus consciousness, taught in the East. So, are those competing ideas? You know, I grew up Catholic, so salvation was the goal. Now I'm kind of getting into the Eastern stuff. Consciousness is a goal, but reading this, it makes me realize that they're not separate. Salvation and consciousness are two sides of the same coin, I think. So maybe read how to get salvation through consciousness. So maybe you have to come to consciousness first, meaning realize Socrates' point, I am the light, or know thyself. Know thyself meaning God lives within me. And then Paul comes in and says, I am the light of the world, which basically backs up Socrates. Know that I am the light of the world. Know myself, the light of the world. Bro, it's pretty sick. And then this concept of salvation versus consciousness. Maybe the way to get to salvation or enlightenment is through consciousness. So let me be aware of the fact that everything is energy. Mother Nature's hot. God the Father too, maybe. All the point is, I am all of these things. Seventh chakra agrees. Everybody today on Sunday is getting it in some way or another. But for me on the daily chakra, that's really interesting. Consciousness, salvation, two sides of the same coin. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, and let's do a quick 5 on that. So, know thyself. Thyself is the light of the world. The Egyptians would say the sun is God. It actually kind of makes sense because it's light. You know, everything is energy. Science agrees now. So, salvation, consciousness. So, setting the timer for 5. Sitting up nice and tall. Wow. Know thyself, the light of the world. I am the light of the world. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, Jesus. Jesus is a pretty dope dude, apparently. No arguments. So, the light of the world shines within me. Socrates said that, and then Paul. Pretty powerful stuff. So, sitting up nice and tall, I am connected with the universe. I am connected to God. I'm connected to Jesus. I'm connected to Krishna, all those dudes. And I'm connected to Mother Nature. Energy, the white light, the rainbow. It's all the same to me, I think. So let's take 5 on that idea. Anything you want can happen in life if you believe that you are the light of, I am the light of the world. The same light of the world, the same light from the Big Bang is the same light that shines from within me. Think about that. It's the same light from when you're going to see the light. It's the same light that blinded me by the light, and then now I believe. It's the same light that you see right before you die. The light of the universe is the same light that shines from within me. How incredible. So now we're getting into, it's, not just what you believe, being right or wrong. The important part is, what is that doing for you? What is it doing for me? I have this firm belief that I believed ever since I was born. Great. What is that doing for me? So for me, Jeffrey Bassman, I think knowing that I am the light of the world, thank you, Paul. Know thyself, thank you, Socrates. Uh, whoever else. The same light is within me. So what is that doing for me? That means that it's raising my level of belief that I can accomplish anything I want, which means peace, inner and outer, lots of money that I can then decide later if I want to, how much of it I want to donate. I can accomplish anything I want knowing that I am the light of the world. Pretty sick. So maybe we're overstepping boundaries here a little bit, but I don't care what you believe. The important part is what is it doing for me? So take 5 on that. I am the light of the world, and I can do anything I want, knowing that. So pretty sweet. So find that breath and go away for 5 minutes. All right, nice deep breath. Blink those eyes open. Hey, hey, there you are, child of God and Mother Nature. So, again, thanks for watching. Today's lesson was Paul. Pretty cool dude. But the key point for me was this idea of consciousness and salvation. Get your own salvation through consciousness. Try that. I think it would work. So, but I think, again, the most important thing is it's not what I believe. It's what is that doing for me. You could be an atheist and say, hey, there's no God. That's stupid. Great, you can believe that, but what is that doing for me? Okay, knowing that there's no God, like, let me use that to help accomplish some goal, right? Or if you are 100% sure that there is a God and there's no question, great. What is that doing for me then? Okay, so we're at the point now where it's 2014, the internet, no more secrets. Okay, I'm getting tired of people having, they know certain things, but then they're still pissed off. See, I will admit that I don't know. I'm reading out of a book. Okay, and not that I'm high and mighty. I'm just saying, look, I'm tired of you bitching. whatever you believe is true. But more importantly, what is that doing for me? What is it doing for you? So that's the lesson for today. Do more yoga if you want. I might, and one day I will start doing more stuff other than just Daily Chakra for you guys. So any questions, email me, jeff@dailychakra.com. Subscribe up to the chan. Share this with everyone you know right from here, from the heart plexus area. And that's it. Wear a rainbow-colored shirt for the rest of the day, or white. And I don't know, I kind of feel just like dancing. And if you're still watching, this is like, how deep into this broadcast are we? It's got to be over 15 minutes right by now. I'm just going to keep dancing here. And I encourage you to comment in the Facebook channel about how stupid I am and then I should shut up. That'd be cool. And yes, I'm aware that this is going to be published and available for people to see forever, including my own grandchildren are going to see what a clown I am. So big up to Jimmy, and that's it. Make today awesome. I'm serious. You have the power. You are the light of the world. Okay, so which means that the rest of this day can be awesome. For those of us in America, no work tomorrow. Super sweet. I got a date, so this is just turning into a video diary now. So deal with it. Okay, you're the light of the world. That means me being stupid isn't going to affect you. You're the light of the world. So yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood today. I don't really know why. It's cool. So I'm going to go be by myself now, and you do your thing, all right? If you watched this all the way to the end, you are an insane person, too. So that's it. I love you especially the most. That's it. You're the light of the world. So take that now and do something with it, right? You know your grandma or your uncle is so, like, has these beliefs that are so ingrained and true, but yet they're still not even happy in life. So to me, it's like baffling. I was raised Catholic, but half of those people are miserable. So it's like, what's true? I don't know. I think this idea of consciousness leading to salvation. Right now, it's salvation over here, consciousness over here. But dude, flip the coin. You got both. So use that and crush it. So for me now, I'm gonna go. I don't know. I think I'll go sit outside and do some more reading. So that's it. Make today awesome. See you tomorrow where we're going to do push-ups. Okay? Bye.